Brightest blessings, everyone. Psychic medium Elizabeth Grove, the Paranormal Priestess here. Welcome to the Paranormal Priestess YouTube channel for those of you who are new. And I do realize that there are new people. They're always stopping by all the time. And I'm glad to have you here. Perhaps you were guided to this channel and you just decided to click on this video. And I'm really happy that to have you here, and hopefully you'll become a subscriber. And for those of you who have already subscribed and have been really supportive of this channel, I always extend my thanks to you because it really means a lot for me to put these videos out. I'm on the twin flame journey myself, and I go through a lot of the challenges that all of my subscribers go through. And it means a lot to me to be able to basically build up my strength and be able to come out with this information, with these messages, with these tools to be able to support others who are like myself. So thank you so very much, and thank you for all the wonderful emails and for the comments that you leave and how you guys let me know that the work that I'm doing has really had a beautiful impact on your journeys, and it's really helped you out in so many ways. The testimonials that I've been receiving recently have been incredible, and they've been really emotional for me to read. And I'm so blessed and so grateful that I was guided to do this channel and to extend my work out to twin flames. So this has just been amazing. Just a service announcement. I announced this last time on my video, but I just want to do so again, that for the remote spirit extraction work, I will be putting a hold on this right now. I've been receiving a lot of inquiries, so I'm kind of backed up. So I want to be able to, get some of these cases cleared, and then I'll be able to open that back up. So thank you for your patience. If you are currently having psychic attacks or you feel like there's interferences there, thank you. While you're waiting, it is definitely a great idea to go to the protection videos that I uploaded, especially at this time. I would highly recommend them. I have two of them. The second one I would really focus on even more so. The first one has a lot of earth-based abilities in there, methods rather, that can help you clear and protect your space. But honestly, the divine alignment and the higher level protection is really going to be the best, but you can always add in the earth-based elements in there as well, and just to give yourself a good combination of things. So definitely turn to those if you are having issues in your space, and hopefully those will help you out in the meantime. For those of you who have contacted me for readings and I haven't gotten the chance to get back to you yet, thank you so much for your patience. I'm going through some things on my journey, and I'm also receiving plenty of inquiries for readings, and there's only so many hours in a day, and I'm reading others as well during the day. So thank you for your patience. I will get back to you, but if I don't get back to you within a couple of days or so, I will. Just, please give me a chance to be able to do that. Of course, I always check in to see if you are a vibrational match, if we resonate with each other, and if the divine gives me the go on that, then we can definitely do a channel session and see where you are on your journey. So today's video is going to be this Q&A with Archangel Michael, and it will be focused on the divine masculine. There are many divine feminines who are awakened at this time, and many of them I am hearing are very frustrated with the journey. I'm hearing about meltdowns that are happening within the community. I am not active in the twin flame community. So I pretty much do what I'm guided to do as far as extending my messages out and channeling and bringing divine messages out. But I'm not active in communities, so I'm not getting to hear about certain things. I just feel very private in regards to that. But I'm hearing that many are having a very hard time, having meltdowns, giving up on the journey, really have just had enough, and it's been really intense and very challenging lately. So I wanted Archangel Michael to address this, and I know that the divine masculine is absolutely the focus here as far as his process and his development. So it's not that we are judging the divine masculine in a harsh way whatsoever, and I definitely do not agree with that school of thought whatsoever. It's that the divine masculine is going through something that is very deep right now, and it's just something to realize as far as what is actually happening here behind the scenes. What is there to know? What is there to truly understand? What is the clarity here at this point of the journey? So I'm going to get into this, and I have this all down here, and I'm kind of going to be like the Megyn Kelly here with Archangel Michael and ask these really pressing questions. But I felt like this was something that was going to be a little bit different and will help many of you out who are divine feminine, who have been wondering what is going on with your divine masculine and why it is seeming to be somewhat hopeless or bleak or impossible or moving in opposite direction, for us to find the truth and clarity here. So the first question that I have for Archangel Michael is, what are the current energies surrounding the divine masculines right now? And Archangel Michael's response was, they are surrounding the divine masculine with support of light, and this light is filtering within the heart space of the divine masculine. Okay? When Archangel Michael says they, talking about the divine beings, okay, that they absolutely are supporting the divine masculine with their development, that this light is coming through, okay, filtering within the heart. My question, when you say filtering, can you clarify this further? Archangel Michael's response, yes, I will clarify. The fifth dimensional frequencies are entering the heart space, and then the heart space is releasing all emotional 3D programming and conditioning. So my question, so with the filtering, what is coming through their own physical 3D lives? And are the divine feminines feeling the effects of this? Archangel Michael's response, the 3D physical divine masculines are acting out of their normal characters, as well as they are appearing as if they are no longer healing and evolving, which is the opposite of what is currently taking place. Now, this is something definitely to take with you if your divine masculine is just acting out of character. If he is appearing to move in the opposite direction or getting worse, the clarity here is what's really important, the focus on the truth. They are falling into the energy, Archangel Michael says, that it's been filtering out. Okay, and this would be the actions that are appearing as if they are not in alignment with the twin flame journey. Again, that's worth repeating. They are falling into the energy, which would be ego, being entrenched in ego, that has been filtering out. And this would be the actions that are appearing as if they are not in alignment with the twin flame journey. So remember, it's, sometimes when we come across appearances, it's not all what they appear to be, okay? And this is really, really important right now to realize for those of you who are very frustrated as to what's happening with your divine masculine. So my question is, so would you agree that this would be a healing detox or a so-called healing reaction in order to purge this out? Archangel Michael, this is correct. When a thought form or emotional form is released, it is not to be without experience. The energy that is coming through will be of the nature of that thought form or emotional form. The beliefs and patterns as well as addictive behaviors will come through with a stronger intensity and will eventually dissipate as it is being released. Okay? So, for those of you who are Reiki healers out there or any type of energetic healer, for those of you who are physical healers, what happens? We go through a detox, right? If we give someone energy, say we are doing an energy session and we are giving someone energy, Okay, chances are they can have some emotional purging, some mental purging, a couple of days or so, feel very tired, drained. I know that when I do energetic work, when I do extraction work, which is more than just removing lower beings, it's also removing out lower emotions and thoughts and things of that nature, that I'll have a client that will go through somewhat of a detox for a few days or so. Okay, and that's a normal thing that happens, and that can't be stopped. That's a natural process that unfolds. Okay, the divine beings always say that we cannot stop this. So this is the way to look at this. So if your divine masculine is getting more entrenched in his lower behaviors and lower actions, to realize that there is absolutely a reason for this, but it's not what you think. It's not what you think. And that's the point. We have to go back to healing, the process of healing, how that naturally takes place. My question. This would appear to the divine feminine as though he was holding stronger to these thought forms and emotional forms, correct? Archangel Michael, it depends on how she is being exposed to them and what she is trusting in her own heart. Okay, and that's very, very important here. So it's all about how you choose to see it. It also depends, of course, on what type of lower thought forms and lower emotions she's being exposed to. My response, for example, if her divine masculine had an addiction to a substance, or he has behaviors to seek out the lower type of mate, would this in the physical illusionary world appear as if there is no hope of change? Archangel Michael, again, it depends on the divine feminine's awareness and her connection with truth. So it's up to us to make that choice to either shift into the ego perspective of being fearful that something's going dreadfully wrong and it's impossible and things will never ever evolve or get better, or to connect with the actual truth of the situation. Michael continues saying the actions would appear as if there was a deeper hold and a stronger addiction. Yes. However, in truth, these actions worsening are a powerful indication that there has been a shift within the heart space. When the light comes into a darker space, it shines brightly and it changes the energetic systems. It also changes the physical systems. The changes do not automatically switch gears. Again, healing is never automatic. It always happens as layers. It always happens as processes. There must be an emptying of these energies, Michael continues, a pathway, we will say. The pathway of these energies would be to either be transmuted or to be released. However, the releasing of the energies will affect both the mental and emotional bodies, and so they will respond to the energy that is releasing. There is a quote-unquote reenactment of the pattern, behavior, etc. Okay? And this makes a lot of sense for recently if you've discovered that your divine masculine has made the wrong choices again. Okay? Why would he go back to these wrong choices when you felt that he should be in a different place? This is the reenactment that Michael is referring to. It's the healing reaction. It's these lower thought forms, these lower emotional forms coming up. And the only way to really learn and to grow is by experience. So they are experiencing these things, and they're experiencing them in a very intense way because the filtering within the heart space is happening in a very intense way. So we need as divine feminines to understand the full bigger picture of everything and to not be thrown off by what is being presented at face value. So Michael says, think of the dark night of the soul. Great example. Many of the masculines are going through this now or will be shortly. This is because the darker, lower, or dense energies are being filtered. These lower feelings and thoughts are coming to the surface and all cause a very distinct disturbance within the physical vessel. This would appear to an outsider as if the person were out of their senses or extremely imbalanced. They would come off as they are in complete ruination. However, beneath the surface is always truth. The truth is where the focus would be in the highest good to embrace. The truth is that the person is actually evolving and becoming more aware and filled with light and Christ consciousness. A deep, profound healing is actually occurring. Again, this is all according to perspective. So the big word here, Divine Feminines, who are frustrated at this time, is perspective, understanding perspective, being able to shift perspective out of the ego illusion to the fuller, bigger, divine picture, which is always deep. Okay, it's always within the heart space. My question, I see. So it is the perspective that many of the awakened divine feminines are not clearly seeing, correct? Archangel Michael, yes, this is correct. There is a very dense energy now coming through the twin flame collective. There is a reason for this, and I will further clarify. The density, in fact, is their divine masculine filtering. Remember what I had said about the appearance and how aware the divine feminine is. The strong senses of impatience, anger, depression, anxiety, and overall fear is what is circulating out of the divine masculines in a very deep way. Now, this is a very good thing. Now, as far as appearance in the physical, see, that's where many of the divine feminines are getting triggered once again, where they were doing well for a long time. But this is just a really, really strong indication that the deepest of healings are happening for your counterpart. And so when we think about that, it's actually a very, very good sign. It is a good thing. There is movement that is happening. There is shifting that's happening. However, it's not according to how we feel it should look like. Okay, for us, it's about surrendering and allowing this process to take place for our divine masculines without holding on so tightly to the energy. Toxic patterns, Michael says, have been deep-seated and clung to and are now being forced out by incoming light portals that are becoming more and more intense. So as we go through, I'm hearing people say that the last full moon was really, really intense on people and causing a lot of emotional and mental disruptions on all of this. What Michael is confirming is that these portals going forward this year, this is the year, are becoming a lot more intensified, a lot more accelerated, okay? So that means that these healing processes are going to be exactly that, more intensified, more accelerated, okay? So how this may appear to the outside can come off many times deceptive. And it's up to the divine feminine to really turn to the divine perspective of this, to the healing. The toxic patterns, again, do not just leave, Michael says. They must be reenacted or transmuted. The more that the divine feminines can transmute what is being filtered, the easier this will be in terms of the physical processes of this or the physical consciousness of these lower patterns. Hence, the reactions from them. Okay, so transmuting, the best tool to use would be the violet flame. I would highly recommend that as far as transmuting energy, to be able to transform it from negative into positive. Filtering, though, of course, as Michael is saying, when we let go of energies, when we release things, it's not always as clean as we think. A lot of times we are experiencing this. We are experiencing this type of thing. Again, this energy is a healing reaction. And so as people are healing, they are reacting from that place of that energy, which is filtering out. So that's really the theme of this for the divine masculine. My question, are most of the divine masculines aware of their divine feminines as they are going through this reenactment of these toxic patterns, as they are being filtered, or are they too entrenched in the process of all this? Archangel Michael's response: the divine masculines are being addressed as I have been saying. Some of them are aware of the connection, yet they have pulled away as they are filtering and reenacting. There are others who are not aware yet, and they have been going through this process. It depends on the couple and what wave they are on. My question, is this also one of the reasons the higher self connection or telepathic connection ceases? Archangel Michael: this would be a reason, yes. When there's a release of toxic patterns to this magnitude and to this acceleration, the counterparts are kept separated to a certain degree. When we say separated, we do not mean they are no longer energetically connected. We mean that they are not receiving much, if any, of the more difficult filtering as they, along with the direct communicating. Okay, so this is just something to know. So if you are not in connection, communicating with your twin, and I do mean this in both senses. I mean this if you are not spiritually communicating with them or physically. Archangel Michael is confirming because there is a very intense filtering out of lower energies that's happening, and so it's in the highest good to not have that direct communication. It would not be helpful at this time. When twins are connecting directly, it brings up even more of the vibrations and frequencies which are currently present. Okay, remember this is both positive and negative. To directly communicate would not be helpful, like I said, and this would cause even more pain. Words and direct actions would be even more difficult to bear, especially to the awakened twin. The divine will shut the connection to an extent in order for these deep cycles to be processed. Okay, so just be aware of that deep cycles are happening when you are not able to have that connection. It always means that there's a definite healing, a definite filtering, a definite shift that's happening. But it's so intense, it's a really good thing that the divine does shut off the connection temporarily, because it's better for you. It's better for you, it's better for your beloved, it's better for both of you. The divine feminine will feel or experience this to a certain degree, or have a sense of this. So many feminine do experience, as far as feeling that what the divine masculine is going through. You are picking up a lot of the things that are happening within their space. That's normal. But Michael is saying to have direct communication would just not be in the highest good. Once the denser energies have been addressed, there will be more connection. Okay, then the connection will come up again. My question is this also connected to many of us having positive and reassuring communications and meeting up during portals, only to have our beloveds afterwards step away? Archangel Michael: yes, this would be accurate. The portals of light initiate the beloved's heart space with higher, pure energy that lifts their vibrations, and this will support communication in all ways. Okay, so many of those dreams, vivid experiences, those who are meeting up with their twin in the physical around those times, ones who are speaking, whether it's telepathically or 5D or otherwise, these portals, they help with this communication. Again, it's all that energy coming through initially. These portals will then speed up the filtering process again. So then after these, when these portals come through, again, it filters through the heart, filters through all our energy centers too. Everything changes within us, basically. Okay, it's all heart-based, but everything changes. Our light body changes. All our energetic structure changes. Our physical structure changes. Okay, so as we go through these changes, they are challenging to go through, because we are literally, all the lower is coming up. All the 3D paradigm stuff is coming up and out. Okay, and when this happens, it's hard to deal with. Okay, so imagine dealing with your mirror during that. Okay, just will be magnified. My question: when will this ease, so that the divine masculines can sustain the higher vibration, embrace the truth of their journey, and commit to their beloveds in the physical? Archangel Michael, this is all dependent on the individuals, their 3D programming and karma. However, we can confirm that the portals taking place this year have the greatest effect on the Divine Masculine's progress, and we will see many of them home. Okay? My question, speaking of this, are all twin flames who are incarnated now meant to come together and manifest a union? This is a big question that somewhat within the community, we get back and forth on this question. Some are saying that twins who were originally meant to come together now will not be. Archangel Michael, the incarnated twins all have a chance to come together in the physical and would not have a limitation by any means if that is what they chose before incarnating. Okay, so it all comes down to if you chose this before incarnating, you would have that chance to do this. It is supported. All partners are meant to come together in manifested union. We cannot confirm if all will choose this indefinitely because there have been twins without a shadow of a doubt who have left the journey as an act of defiancy. And this is just another area here that can happen, but it is somewhat rare for this to happen. The divine can only support and guide so much. We do all that we can to keep twins on the path in order to finalize the journey, in order for templating to take place as well as for mission to be effectively carried out on Gaia. We, however, cannot force any twins out of defiancy. So yes, divine will does triumph over free will with twins. However, defiancy does occur in some cases, and with that, we cannot overturn it. Okay, so my response to this was, interesting, so would you then define defiancy as turning away from the will of God? Just so that we understand what defiant truly means here on the journey. Archangel Michael, this would be an accurate definition. My question, if a twin runs, would this be an act of defiancy? Archangel Michael, running would not be considered defiant. Running is something that will often occur on the twin flame journey. Defiancy would involve completely turning your back on the divine and all divine truth, and completely walking away from your divine nature, all guidance received. It is truly an act of disregarding all forms of divine guidance and support, only allowing the ego to call the shots. This would be a very strong stance and does not happen very often. There are forces of a lower nature that are attempting to cause twin flames who have been committed to their journeys to turn their backs and become defiant. The filtering times are when these forces push harder for that couple to come off the edge. It is very important to be aware of what is truth versus what is illusion. Truth of the divine is always felt in the heart. To turn your back on your heart is to turn your back on your beloved and the divine. My question, so those who seem like they do not care about the journey or their beloveds, this is not always the truth nor an act of defiancy. Archangel Michael, again, the outside world is a very illusionary place, and there is much that is behind the scenes and under the surface. There is growth and learning lessons. There is working through denser energies in order to release them. The appearance of these reenactments can put many off. Remember that it all comes down to healing. Healing is not a clean process, nor one that is very obvious to some. We talked about that. It depends on who you ask and who is very aware of how healing works. Healing is very layered. Layers that surface may appear very negative and act in very negative ways. However, a healing nonetheless is taking place at very deep levels and would be considered a very positive thing. Okay, and this, we were just talking about that. And this is what Michael is confirming. Okay. My question, would you say that most of the divine masculines are going through this right now? And what would you say to the divine feminines who are losing hope after years of this journey? Archangel Michael, yes. This is the year of the 11. This is the year that's critical in bringing twin flames together in the physical. There are accelerations that are happening. They are taking huge leaps and falling into deep lows due to the filtering process. The divine feminine are experiencing the clean out of their own wounds, their own conditioning and limited belief systems as well, and they are also very much picking up on their counterparts. Our message to those who are currently losing hope is to not always take one obvious perspective that is being presented to you in the physical regarding your counterpart, regarding the journey. These perspectives are triggering you, and this would be the very fears that are connected to these perspectives. Understand that your beloved is healing and they are receiving our support in all ways. We have not failed them, nor are we not doing all that we can to assist you in understanding all perspectives and to be aware of the truth that you may not be seeing. The technology world of ego can pull the wool over many eyes. There are words instantly exchanged, visuals that are placed for all to see, communications gone unanswered. However, it is the why that many divine feminines are losing sight of. They are assuming many times. They are only accepting things at face value in connection to what is taking place with their divine counterpart. This is the fear, the anxiety, and the distrust that they are experiencing. My question: have the divine masculines been, say, reenacting their past choices in order to let them go then? Archangel Michael, you see, now we are heading into the right perspective. And he gave me a wink. In order to truly become aware of the divine truth, one must release the energy of fear. The energy of fear has created the patterns and beliefs, hence has influenced the choices. Do you see how this all interplays? So yes, to answer your question, many have been going through these same lower choices, the reenactments, as a part of their filtering or healing process. So the repetition of patterns in order to let them go. However, this appears to be counterproductive to one looking from the outside in. I am here to confirm that this is merely fine-tuning the divine masculine, tweaking them, shining them up, and preparing them for ultimate glory. Which will you choose to see? There's something to think about there. My question: are many of the divine masculines becoming aware of what it is and who it is that would be in the highest good to choose? Archangel Michael. For many divine masculines, they are currently being led strongly or guided to the highest choice of love partnership. They are receiving the signs and synchronicities, and they are processing these with reflection and weighing of options. Some are still within fear of this correct choice due to being intimidated by it, perhaps not feeling they deserve it or would be able to fulfill it. However, this longing is apparent to many right now, and some are ready to head back. Realizations are happening, and the overview of past choices is coming up for them. Their hearts are winning out against the logical judgment, which is preventing many from stepping forward at this time. However, this is coming to an end very quickly, and there will be divine masculines who will take the leap of faith after all else has failed in their lives. Okay, so this is, again, something that is really helpful to focus on is that their past choices, okay, they are going through a reflection of these. They are thinking about what they have chosen. They are weighing these options. They will be taking these leaps of faith. Their hearts are winning out where their heads have really led them to go through these older patterns and, reenact their older choices, as they are going through their transformation or filtering process. It's just really key here to know that things are changing for them and they will be stepping forward. But as far as when that will be, it's just really going to be helpful to just let this process, let this be, and not only just let it be, but to not let it be with carrying anger, but to let it be with carrying faith, holding the space, and sending the love as they go through this. My question: what would you recommend the divine feminine do for the highest good in regards to their masculine? Archangel Michael, I would recommend that they look at the truth and not accept the deception of the physical world at play. I would urge them to feel their beloved trust their feelings, and all their marvelous intuition instead of being triggered by the reenactments. One must sometimes retreat in order to step back and gain a more clear and precise perspective. Okay, this is not much different than we're talking about with the Divine Masculine, reflecting on things. This retreating is helpful at this time. You do not have to get caught up in the storm if you do not choose to. Remember, everything's a choice. You can choose to understand the reality of the divine processes and to support them with nothing but compassion and surrender and trust. There we go there. We also recommend that protection of the union is put into full force. As lower energies circulate out, the lower beings attempt to latch on and cause interference. Know this, be aware, and call upon us daily for protection. Love is what I will leave everyone with. It all comes down to love. Love yourself and work on this love if it's been faltering. Love your fellow man, love your counterpart, no matter what the processes are. Love the divine, because that love is always there. My response? Thank you, Archangel Michael. I would like to also add staying the course. For those who wish to come off the path at this time or feel they are missing out on life and happiness, please stay the course. Archangel Michael, staying the course would be the very advice I would bring to all at this time. The course is love. Walk in love, act with love, see with love, hear with love, feel with love. When you do this, you are staying the course. When you are fearful and do not trust that love, all is never in alignment. The beautiful miracles that are coming up for twins will be apparent more and more. See past the storm. See the flowers and leaves and the rain that the rain brings, and do not only see the storm. It is the storm that many of you are currently caught up in. Thank you, and bless all twin flames for all your work. We honor you greatly. I know there was a lot there, and I'm hoping that this really clarified things. Talking about the major filtering, the deep filtering that the Divine Masculine is going through, talking about the reenactments of, as this energy is coming up and out, it causes someone to go through that healing reaction and appear as if, in the physical, appear as if things are going in the opposite direction. The repeats of patterns, the repeats of addictions, and those types of things. Again, Michael quotes them as the reenactments that the Divine Masculines are going through. And he talks about the perspectives, okay, and how we choose to look at this. Should we choose to look at it from the point of view that nothing is going right and everything is impossible, and the Divine Masculines are getting worse here, or do we look at it for the truth that it is that they're not getting worse, they are healing? So it's not to place any blame on the Divine Masculine in any kind of way. They are going through what is to help them in the highest ways, okay? And depending on, as Michael was saying, depending on the individuals, depending on the karma, depending on what that conditioning is, that will kind of dictate how this will play out. How much of it do they have to get through, to grow through? But to understand that we are going through so many amazing portals right now that are just pushing. And again, as I've said in other videos, as the light pushes and filters through us, okay, it brings out all of those lower energies, and they have to go somewhere. So Archangel Michael talked about the transmuting of these energies as much as you can, as well as just understanding the natural release process, okay, and to not fall for how that process appears on the outside, that there's a lot more to it than what you may be seeing. So these are some things to really, really think about, Divine Feminines, to really take in. And let me know if you resonate with this, if many of you are probably receiving these same types of messages. My advice is, as the Divine Masculines are going through this, yes, the compassion, yes, always sending the unconditional love as they're going through their learning and their growth here, to know that things are moving in the right direction, but to definitely not lose sight of your own life in terms of living it. Now, some people, they wonder what does that mean? Should I go out dating? What do I do here as I'm holding the space for my counterpart? Well, it's not saying that you should go out and date. Okay, if you do know that you are a twin and you know for a fact that this is your mate, you've been feeling this, you've been going through all of this, believe me, the obvious choice to someone who is not on this journey, they would say, okay, well, you know what, get a life, go date other people while you are waiting for him, don't stop, all these things. But see, if you're not a twin, you can't understand it. And as a twin flame, when you are connected with this type of love, with these really, really deep emotions, these feelings, this connection, it's not going to feel good to date anyone else. So even if it seems like the obvious choice of what you should do, it doesn't mean that that's going to add up to having a happy life. In fact, it's not. I'm not telling you what to do, but it's not going to, as far as what I really feel here, it's not going to feel very good. Okay, it's not going to feel the same. It's not going to feel fulfilling. And it's not going to make the divine feminine any happier that they're going out and so-called having a life by dating someone else. Okay, it's going to really feel not so good. So, we all have choices that we make. I wouldn't recommend that one. What does come up in the readings that I do is to just really step into yourself and to own who it is that in the world that you are. Step into the steps of your mission more. Whatever it is that's left for you to heal, to really delve into that, really take hold of that now. Now's the time to really step into your full empowerment and to really be the highest version of yourself. Therefore, you can be the highest version within the world. And so there are things to do with that time. So you don't have to be waiting and putting happiness on hold. You are holding the space for your counterpart. Okay, you are on this journey. And this journey is happening. So it's about just understanding the perspective of that. But it's not waiting. It's about you using the time to heal in all ways, whether it's mental ways, emotional ways. For those of you who have some challenges with physical health, to take the steps with that. Anything and everything that's going to benefit you. Okay. If it's something like you haven't been in music for a while, if you haven't been in art, if you have been guided to write that book, write that poetry, put that blog up, whatever it is, and you put that on hold, the timing always works really perfectly, especially as I read these twin flames, because as your divine masculine is going through this difficult transformation, as he's going through this, and you're not in that communication, that gives you the time to really prepare yourself. So he's being prepared. You are proactively preparing yourself and working with your guides, your angels, with the divine, following the guidance. And so everything has its place and its timing. So for those of you who have been hearing things as far as YouTube and reading things about meltdowns and how things are not going right or whatever's being said out there, the divine masculines are not cooperating, and this journey is not worth it, and you're better off getting a soulmate, and all these ridiculous negative things, please just know that if you don't resonate with it, if it doesn't sit well with you, then it's most likely not divine truth. And just to really use your utmost discernment as you are exposing yourself to different people on social media, on YouTube, I would really just ask your spiritual team to confirm if someone's going to be in the highest good for you to be exposed to, if this information is for the highest good of you, to really check on that, and to really protect yourself as much as you can with that, and protect your union at this time. So that's pretty much going to be it. And let me know how you feel about this. The website you can visit me is theparanormalpriestess.com. I am also on Facebook, The Paranormal Priestess. You can like the page. I'm on Twitter, ParaPriestessYT. I also have my personal Twitter, Para_Priestess. And I'm here for you guys as much as I can, and I'm wishing you the best blessings. And for all of you who are going through a very difficult time, Divine Feminines, you've come this far, please return back to the truth. Please stay the course. This is going to really be amazing. Things really are going in the correct direction. Just time for us to be clear on what's actually happening. From the brightest, oh gosh, my God, this was just so much for me too. I'm sorry. Brightest blessings, everyone, and remember, from the heart of the darkness is absolutely born the light. Please know that. Take care, everyone, and I will see you all next week. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do, and take care, everyone.